Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another video. And this is going to be 5-star predictions. I got this idea from Kirsten. I thought it was a really cool idea. I don't actually tend to guess ratings for books before I read them. It's just not something I ever do. I'm never expecting to, I guess, read a 1-star book or a 5-star book. I'm in it for the surprise. But I really like the idea of this, to try and pick out books that I think I'm gonna absolutely love based off of other books that I've read. These are all kind of different from each other, so let's get started. This should be a lot of fun. This first one, I have been meaning to read it for quite a while now. I've actually read another book by this author and it was 5 stars. That's why I'm going with the 5-star prediction for this one. It sounds amazing. I always see it recommended literally everywhere, and most people have nothing but amazing things to say about it. And that is going to be The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We are following the story of this Scarlett from, I think it's like the 50s. She is kind of one of the most well-known actresses of the time, and in the 80s she just decides that she's going to stop acting, and then nobody really ever hears anything of her again. All of a sudden she decides that she's going to have someone write her autobiography, and she picks this very specific journalist. This journalist is not well known, is kind of in a failing career, and when she comes there she starts telling her story about when she got to Hollywood and her different life experiences, along with her 7 husbands. This does have queer representation in it. I have had a little things here and there spoiled from it. I don't mind. This is an older book and it was really, really popular, so it's, you know, gonna happen and it doesn't bother me any. But I've heard amazing things about this. I definitely want to read it. I don't read contemporary, especially like adult contemporary, very often, but I absolutely adored Daisy Jones and the Six. I loved the writing. Everything about it was just amazing. So I'm expecting a lot from this author. So this is definitely a 5-star prediction for me. I just need to finally just say, read it, read it. I keep saying I'm going to read it and then I keep putting it off. I did start it once. I think I only got about a chapter in and then I hit a reading slump. I hit a really bad reading slump a couple years ago and I didn't get anything in, and this was one of the ones that fell victim to that. But yeah, I definitely want to get this in before the end of the year. This next one I have had recommended to me for years. Like, anybody that knows my taste in YA fantasy have all told me, you've got to read this, you're gonna love it, it's so good. I have the whole series on my shelf, I just have yet to pick it up. And I mean, I've never picked it up. I didn't really even know what it was about. It was just, to have that many people tell you you're gonna love a book, I had to buy it, and I think I got them all on sale, so it all worked out. But I do like the new covers, so that's a thing. But I do gotta at least read the first book, and that is The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Carson. This is a really underrated series from what I understand. I've never seen anything negative about it, and for that many people to tell me it's amazing, I trust it. And it's always talked about in a sense that it is underrated, that not enough people ever talk about this. We're following the story of a girl who gets betrothed to a king, I believe it is, on her 16th birthday, and everybody needs her to be the chosen one. Whether she is or she isn't, it doesn't matter. They need her to be it. So she has to kind of fake her way through it from what I understand. And there's other people, it's not just this king that thinks she's the chosen one. There are other people, like the rebellious group, think that she could be the one to actually lead them into, I guess, a better age or better for these people. And the other thing is that all these other chosen ones have all died young. So she's got to deal with all of the pressure of being this chosen one, this new queen, and also for the fact that she has to kind of fight this prophecy to live. Like, she doesn't want to die. It sounds really interesting, and like I said, I've only seen positive things about this. Anytime I've heard it mentioned, which to be fair wasn't that much because it is considered underrated, it's only been positive. So this is one where I definitely need to get into. I want to read it. I just keep forgetting. I need to put it onto one of my TBR carts. I tend to pull on those before I go onto my shelves, so I definitely need to throw this on there so that I can finally get to it. I need to read it, and I can finally tell everybody that's recommended this damn book to me that, hey, look, I finally read the book. This next one, I wanted to put one where it's a very hesitant 5-star, because the other 4 of these are very solid. I feel like these will be 5 stars. This one originally was, even though I said I don't think about 5-star ratings all that often, or even any kind of rating all that often, this was one where I expected a lot from it. And I ended up reading a different book by this author, and I was not a fan of it at all. So I'm still going with a 5-star prediction for it. And just for this book, because I've heard very mixed things for the rest of the series, but I am gonna read this one. I have this on my list of books that I do want to get to this year. I have this one for the A to Z yearly challenge, and this is going to be for R, and that is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. I read Prince of Thorns, I want to say back in February. I was not a fan of it at all. I struggled. It was the first time I've ever truly struggled through a audiobook. I didn't care for it physically. I didn't care for it in the audiobook form. It was very just kind of drawn out, and the writing was so centered on making the main character seem like he's terrible. So I'm very nervous about this one, but this has to do with a girl who gets taken in by this convent of nuns where they train all of these girls to be assassins. I love anything with like assassin training and like schools and stuff that do that kind of thing. It's so good. And she gets brought in there as a young, I think she's like a young kid when she gets taken there. And that's what they do. They train them for this. And I believe she is one of the few that actually has like powers. Not everybody has them, but I believe she is one that does. I've seen this mentioned a lot. A lot of people say it's really good. People that I trust, reviewers and other booktubers and stuff that I do trust the reviews, have said it was really good. So I am going in this with still pretty high hopes. It's just, this is my tentative, like, are you really going to be 5 stars? Just for the fact that I really wasn't a fan of The Prince of Thorns at all. There was nothing about that book that I really liked except the kind of ending and the kind of world when it kind of got revealed what was really going on. But for the most part, wasn't a fan, but I'm excited for this one. This is one, like I said, though, is on my actual TBR for the year to get to. So here is to hoping. This one, though, I just want action-packed. That's kind of all I'm really hoping for, is action-packed with assassin nuns. Come on. You can't miss out on, you can't lose. You can't lose with that kind of combination, so I hope I don't. This next one I had to put on here since this book, since this video was inspired by Kirsten. She has talked about this book a lot in this series a lot, and I bought this. I added this to my wish list because of her, and then I was gifted this book by one of my swap partners, and it was, when I got it, I freaked out because I'm like, I can finally get to this book. I can finally read it, and I'm very excited for it. And that is Melis by John Quinn. This is an adult fantasy, and from what I understand, it's pretty brutal. We follow 4 different point of views. Each one of them have their own kind of stakes in this kind of, I guess, war that's going on, and it is a war that's going on between, from what I understand, humans and giants, and then there's other things happening in here, but ever since Kirsten mentioned it, I've been wanting to pick it up because she flew through the first book in no time, the second book in pretty much no time, and I think, I don't know if she's on the by the one when I'm filming this, I don't know if she's on the 3rd book or the last book, but she's had nothing but amazing things to say about the entire series. So I trust Kirsten so much when it comes to kind of like the adult fantasy and stuff that we both tend to enjoy. We seem to be pretty synced up on that, so I'm trusting her with this one, and I just kind of want something just full of battles, and I don't even know if there's all that much magic. I believe there is some magic in here, but I kind of just want a lot of fighting and stuff, and a really kind of like tough world that's going on in here. I've been seeing this mentioned a lot lately in the fantasy groups that I'm in on Facebook, and so it's kind of really like, okay, I gotta get to this. I've got to read this. I'm hoping to get to this. If not in April, then definitely May. I do actually have this book in my TBR jar for April. You can check out my video for that one to see what I was doing in April for my TBR, because I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to be posting this video. I am trying to get ahead on some videos that I have, but yeah, I cannot wait for this. It is a quite chunky boy, and I know all the other books in the series are really big as well. So yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I just kind of want like bloody action. I need it. Okay, so for this last one has been on my TBR for years. And when I mean years, I mean over 5 years. I've had it on my shelf. I keep meaning to get to it, and I just kept putting it off, and I don't know why, because this is the one on here for me that feels like a solid, it's going to be 5 stars. I've seen amazing things about it. I have for years. I rarely see anything negative when this book is brought up. It's not talked about as much anymore because I know it is an older book, but I want to read this. I need to read this. This is one of my goals before the end of the year, is to finally get into this book. And that is The Shadow of the Wind by Ruiz Zafon. This is what I understand a book about books, and those are my favorite types of books. I love anything that has to do with like books. I love when they're in there, especially when it kind of has maybe these fantastical elements to it. This one, we're following the story of a, I'm not sure if he's younger or if he's older, but it's a boy named Daniel. His father is an antique dealer, or an antique book dealer, and he comes across this book known as The Shadow of the Wind. And when he starts looking into it, he finds out that the author has written other books. So he starts trying to find these books. And while he's looking for the books, he finds out that someone has been destroying all of the other works of this author, including The Shadow of the Wind. He believes, Daniel believes he's the last one that has a copy of this book. Like, it's the last surviving one. And he's trying to find out exactly what's happening, who's doing this, why are they doing this. And, apparently there's like a murder mystery going on and a love story. I've just heard amazing things. Surprisingly, I've never had anything spoiled for this, but from what I know, though, it is a book about books. But yeah, this is one that is a solid 5-star prediction from me. I cannot wait to read this. I don't know why I've been putting it off so long. This is one of those where, since I already have a feeling, like such high expectations that it's going to be a 5-star, it's like, do I want to read it? Like, what if nothing compares to this? Or what if it doesn't live up to the hope? But like I said, when I first heard about this book, it was years and years ago. I was still on Tumblr. I was still running a book blog on Tumblr, and it was like super highly talked about at the time, and I just always meant to pick it up. I did buy it. I just never picked it up and read it. I've never even opened it. This is like one of the very few full-on, I always thought it was going to be 5 stars, and I can't get myself to read it, but I'm going to read it this year. This is another one along with Melis where if I don't happen to get into it in April, I'm definitely going to try and shoot for May 100%. But yes. So there we go. There is just a quick, fun little video. I like doing stuff like this when I can, like all my like 5 intimidating books that I've done in the past, and some of the other top 5 type of things. I think they're really cool to do. If you'd like to see more videos like this, definitely let me know. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Subscribe. I will drop all the social media links down below, as well as Kirsten's link to her channel. She is one of my favorite booktubers. I highly recommend her. But yes, take care, and as always, I'm Bobby, and happy reading. Bye!